Growing up, I always thought of myself as a very strong individual, and I never thought that I can fail at a lot of things in life. And the course I'm taking right now is one of them. And fast forward to today. Here I am sitting with bare minimum grades in two of the subjects, and for the context, it's 51 in mainframe environment and 54 in advanced object programming using Java. So, let's break down how it happened and figure out some ways that you can follow so that you don't have to fall a victim of any situation like this regardless of your course. So for me, I think it all started on May 5th when the semester started, and there I was attending the first class of the semester, and it was of advanced object oriented programming. And in that class, I was supposed to know some things from the previous class in the previous semester, which was object-oriented programming using Java. And luckily enough, I didn't knew a lot of things from that class. So I was just sitting there and bombarded with all the information about objects and whatnot. So finally the lecture came to an end, and the professor gave us a lab worth 2%. And what was surprising to me was that the lab that he gave us was equivalent of the final project of the last semester's course. So the course Object-Oriented Programming that I had in the previous semester had a project of 30%, and it was equivalent to the lab that he gave me in that very first class. So I was very overwhelmed with that thing, and so I thought that I would catch up with what I have to learn and then it'll be okay. So I went home and I didn't do anything. So part of that is because I used to work a lot of hours at that time. And as you may know that from November 2022 to December 2023, the Canadian government lifted the restrictions on the hour that you can work. Hours that you can work, and thus I was doing quite a lot of hours. Every Indian who comes here loves the dollars that they earned. But yeah, so that was one of the main things that was keeping me from catching up the things that I needed to learn. And so a few weeks went by just like that, and after that point I was lagging so much in the course that I would not understand anything, and I wouldn't attend any classes because of that. So there was just this class which I was very bad in, and there was the another one that I'm talking about, the mainframe. To be honest, I was not attending all of the classes. Mainly I went there to just give the midterm exam and the final exam. So yeah, that was the first thing that went wrong, and I can't put enough stress on the fact that how important the college is. Regardless of you not knowing anything about the course, attending the class puts you in a greater position when it comes to passing the course. So regardless of you not knowing anything, I think you should attend the class, and that would increase the chances of you passing the course. And the other thing that comes from not attending the classes is anxiety, right? You don't know what is going on. And anxiety would later on lead to depression, and that's exactly what happened with me. That's a story for another video. If it's something that you are going through, then reach out. It could be your friends, it could be your family, or if you don't have anybody, you can DM me. I will leave the link to my Instagram down below, so you can DM me if you don't have anybody. So that's the story in short, and I'll lay out 3 points that you can follow to never fail a course again. So first one is, as I mentioned, attending the college no matter what is going on, how much bad you are in that course. But I think attending the college is very important. And the second thing, you might think is a no-brainer, but is emailing the professor about your concerns, your queries, right? I had this assignment of 20% in the mainframe environment which I almost failed, and it was worth 20%. So I didn't do enough to get 20, but I did enough much to get around 10%, 12%. But it was to be done in a command prompt, and I had to extract that data into a text file and then upload the text file into the submission prompt. But luckily, one thing happened with me was that I was not able to extract that data from that command prompt, and it was error on my side. Though I pretended that it was an error on the professor side or the login server side, and I mailed the professor accordingly, and he said that I'd look into it, and he had access to my account, so he went in there and looked at it and graded me accordingly. So at first I thought that this assignment is gone and now I'm gonna fail this course. There is no other way. But then I sent that email to the professor, and then luckily like those 10-12% did a lot for me. As I told you, I just passed by 51%. So had it been a couple of percent less, then I would have had failed, and this was a matter of 10 to 12%. So yeah, mailing the professor is the second thing that I think you should do. And don't be shy in there, like the professor would not even know you by your name. So just email him, alright? And the third thing is do every piece of your coursework. No matter how big or how small that course or like the piece of coursework is, you have to do it, right? As I mentioned that I passed by 51%. I keep mentioning this, but it is important for you to know, right? I passed by 51%, and well, there are things in the courses which are 1%, 2%, which people ignore oftentimes because they think that, well, it won't affect their overall grade as much. But like, look at myself, right? Had I not done something that was worth 2% in that course, then I would have had failed. 51 minus 2 is 49, and then I would have to redo the course again. So no matter how big or small the piece of coursework is, you have to do it. And if it's a big piece of coursework and it's very hard, like just do it, like do something and submit it, right? Don't just drop your weapons and think that I can't do it and just don't submit anything. Like, that's the worst thing I think you can do, because the professor knows who has submitted and who has not. And if you don't submit anything, then he would know that you are somebody who is either not in the city or not paying attention to the class and who are here just to enjoy or like whatever, right? So I think you should be doing every piece of coursework. So there you have it. I have talked about how I almost failed, and I talked about some strategies that you guys can follow in order to pass every course that you have in your semester. And well, this is the first video that I'm ever shooting in English because, well, I have got some comments saying that they don't understand the language of the video sometimes. So I'm making videos in English from now on, but I have to do a lot of retakes as I have not shot any videos in English, and there's also a lot of fumbling. But I hope you enjoyed the video and you found something useful in it. If you liked the video, please leave a like down below, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.